Hey guys, it's Marissa. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's going to be a video all about my college application process and how I got into the Fashion Institute of Technology, where I will be attending school. So I'll talk about the application, the waiting process, and everything that you'll need to know. So let's just get started. Today's actually May 1st, which is decision day. So I'm wearing my FIT shirt that you can't even see, but yeah, so first off, I am just going to talk about like the application process. Also, in case anybody was wondering, I applied to 6 schools total. I applied to 3 in New York City, LIM College, LIU Brooklyn, and FIT, and then I applied to 3 other schools that are kind of local, just as a backup option. As my safety schools, and they're about 45 minutes to an hour from my house, but I wanted to be in New York City definitely. I got into every place I applied. I'm super thankful for that. That's awesome. And my second choice would have been LIM. So basically, FIT is a SUNY school, so you have to do the SUNY application, which is not horrible. It's actually pretty easy. So if you're applying to many colleges, you'll kind of realize that there's a lot of colleges that go through the Common App, but FIT does not go through the Common App, which I was actually okay with because I preferred the essay that FIT was asking for. Yeah, just go on FIT's website and it'll tell you how to apply. And so you apply. And so I'm going to talk about the essay. The essay was to talk about why you wanted to attend FIT, like why it was the correct fit for you, and why you were interested in the major you were interested in, and also accomplishments and all that. So it's basically a time to brag and a time to talk about yourself, whereas a lot of other colleges ask for essays that don't talk about yourself. So this is a good time. You're going to want to talk about yourself because there's no other place that FIT sees like your extracurriculars and stuff. So yeah, this is your time to brag. So you don't really want to go too over the top. FIT knows they're great and all that, blah, blah, blah. So just make sure you talk about like why you want to go to FIT really. So I'm not going to read my essay, but I'm going to like kind of tell you how it went. So I will be looking at my phone so I can read my essay. So I kind of started off talking about how I will be coming from a small school, but that doesn't stop me from having big dreams, and how I've always felt like I belonged at FIT and in New York City. So I just talked about that, and then I started talking about my major. My major is AMC, or Advertising and Marketing Communications. So I started talking about like what got me interested, and I talked about how New York City kind of influenced me, so like about the billboards and the lights and all that type of stuff. I did kind of like talk good about FIT, but I was a little nervous about that, but I kind of thought it needed to be said in my essay. So I was talking about how like I can't get this education anywhere else because FIT is like no other school, because I plan on going on to cosmetics and fragrance marketing, which is a bachelor's program at FIT. So I'm starting off in advertising and marketing communications to get there. So this is why I kind of talked about like why FIT was different, because no other school in this country has like a cosmetic marketing program. They have like cosmetic chemistry, but I don't really want to do that aspect as much as I want to do the marketing. And New York City is where I've always wanted to be, so it was kind of perfect. But I know FITM in Los Angeles has a beauty marketing program, but that's too far away, and yeah, it just wasn't what I was looking for. So FIT was definitely the perfect fit for me. So kind of talk about why you belong at FIT. They want to see people who are going to make a difference in their school and who aren't basic like everyone else. Like, yes, everyone going there probably loves fashion, so if you're a fashion major, they kind of know all of the like cliche passion is my fashion type of thing, whereas my major, it's a little easier to avoid those cliches. I then started talking about the class I take online at FIT, just because it is a class that costs money. I thought it would look good in my essay telling them that I know what I want to do and I'm going to be successful there doing it, and it really is something that I want to pursue. So I'm taking the Beauty Industry Essentials course online. It doesn't give you a credit, but you get a certificate, and like I said, it does cost money, so I thought that I would add that in there because like it's being paid for, so why not talk about it, since they're not going to look at my application and be like, oh, she's in this class. So just if you are taking a class or you did do like a I think they have pre-college like little courses at FIT, which I did not know about, but if you did do one of those, or if you're doing one of their online classes, definitely write about that. I think that that definitely helped me in my essay. So the next part of my essay was just kind of my time to like show off like what I've done. So I kind of talked about my achievements, my clubs and sports, and how I'm like a leader in those things. I'm in things like yearbook, National Honor Society, student government, mastermind, some other things, you know, and I do cheerleading and volleyball, and I am the captain on both of those teams. So I talked about how like being the captain helped me be a leader, and how that was great for, I don't know, it's colleges kind of like to see that you can be a leader and lead a team or a group of people. So I talked about how those clubs and sports taught me great leadership values and how to work with a diverse group of people. And then I talked about how I'm the editor-in-chief of my yearbook club. So I kind of work to ensure that we have the best yearbook that we can. So I kind of oversee everything, and I design the pages, so that looks great on the essay. That I'm also participating in the business aspect of the yearbook, like the sales and all of that. So that definitely looks good on the essay. I think that that really helped me out as well. And then I also talked about, although I'm not going into like a design major, this school is all like heavily a design school. So I talked about how I designed a lot of t-shirts for clubs, and how I make geo filters at my school for the Spirit Weeks. So basically for Spirit Weeks, we have like our school colors, like Maroon and White Day and Breast Cancer Day, leading up to the pep rally at the end, and the homecoming dance and the homecoming football game. So for the whole week, I made Snapchat filters that say like color war, where every grade wore a different color and all that stuff. So I made those on Photoshop, and I think that that also helped me in my essay, because it shows that I am able to do that, and I'm the one that the people in the school look to do those things. I talked about how all of these things kind of attributed to my creative side, so I wasn't just a leader, but I was also creative. And I just talked about the awards I have received, like getting a leadership award, and how I was able to manage my time with being involved in extracurriculars, sports, and school. So yeah, that's basically the gist of my essay. Now, if you're not involved in a ton of things, don't worry, because you can still write a really good essay. You definitely want to talk about all the things that you've done. So if you're thinking about FIT in the future and you haven't really done anything that correlates to your major, or you might want to try getting a little bit more involved in your school so you can kind of brag about yourself in the essay. So now I'm going to be talking about kind of the like after you submit your application and the waiting process. So basically I submitted my application late November. I think actually the 27th was when I submitted my essay and everything. I had my essay done for a long time, but I had tons of people proofread it, like my English teacher, my brother. I just had as many people as I could proofread it just to make sure that it was the best possible essay that I could put in. So I had it proofread, and I kind of was a little nervous, so I waited a little bit with it up on my screen, like really nervous to submit it, but then I finally submitted it, and then the wait was on. So I waited December, January, February, and March, and then people started to get their letters in the mail on March 26th. So I joined the Facebook group probably around like March 13th, because I was getting anxious, and I knew it was coming up soon, and I wanted to know when people were getting their things. So I joined the Facebook group, and then there was a group me, and everyone was kind of messaging up until the date when everyone started getting their letters. So it started on March 26th. The people who got their letters that like Monday through Thursday were pretty much the people who applied to the honors program or the presidential scholars. I did not apply for that. I honestly regret not applying for it. The reason I didn't was because I knew that SAT and ACT scores weren't required to get into the college, so I took both of those, but I'm a horrible test taker. My grades weren't amazing, and for this honors program you had to submit those, and I was kind of like not confident in my scores, and I didn't want to retake them because it was the deadline for the honors program was coming up. By the time I heard about it, it was just too late, and honestly I was just nervous. But don't do what I did. If you're a great student and you have a good average, then just apply for it anyway. It's not going to hurt you. So yeah, like I said, I kind of wish I did apply for that because I would have heard like a few days earlier because I was stressing out that whole week. People started getting them. So it got down to like Thursday and then it kind of stopped Wednesday, Thursday-ish. So most of those people were the Presidential Scholars students. So even people who applied and did not get into the Presidential Scholars were getting their acceptance letters earlier. So I definitely do think that they sent them out earlier if you applied for that. It got to like Thursday and Friday, things were kind of dying down. Then Fridays people started getting more. And there were people who didn't apply to the honors program, so I was like, couldn't wait for mine and was checking every single day. And then Saturday came along and most people were getting theirs, like everybody was getting theirs. So I was actually out with my mom at the store and I was like, we need to go home now, like I need to check my mailbox. And she was like, no, I don't think it'll be here on Saturday, like, and I was like, let's just go check anyway, like I was freaking out. And then I got home and it was there. So what it comes in is this envelope that says, congratulations. Now obviously has your address here, but I took that out. So it looks like this. I freaked out when I saw it. I have been waiting for a huge white envelope in my mail. And then you get this. So this is the FIT congratulations welcome folder, acceptance letter, and then other information. So I'm not really sure how well you can see, but this is what it looks like. It was dated March 28th and I got it the 31st, so if they send it out on the 28th, it took 3 days to come, and I live like 5 hours from the city, so I know a lot of international and people who live on the West Coast were kind of like freaking out because they hadn't gotten it, but like it takes a while to get to you, so don't freak out if you live far away and you hadn't gotten it by the time everyone else did. Next, I guess I will talk about like the finding a roommate thing. So it's pretty easy to find a roommate if you join the Facebook group, join the group me. You'll find people, just kind of put yourself out there, write a little paragraph about yourself, add some pictures, and people will message you. I probably have over 100 new like followers on Instagram and Snapchat just from joining the FIT Facebook group and talking with people. That's a great way to meet new people. But of course you can do the random roommate thing, but I kind of wanted to find my roommates. So you can kind of plan ahead for what you're going to buy and how you're going to split everything up. When you get your acceptance letter, there will be a deposit form in here. You just send in $150 to secure your spot, and then your portal will change online. So now I'm going to talk about all the, like, I don't know if you would call them conspiracy theories or the little things that people have figured out about FIT and if you're getting in or not. So first, a lot of people have, if you look on College Confidential, it's just like a forum online. You can search it up, type in your year in. So like, for example, FIT fall applicants of 2018 would be mine. So you just kind of look it up and people just kind of talk on there. So basically what people have found out is that for most people, if you have a cost of attendance on the FIT portal, which you can find on the financial aid checklist section, then you probably will be getting in. Now I know there is like one person I heard of who had a cost of attendance and got waitlisted, but that was one person. Everyone else pretty much got in that I heard of and had a cost of attendance listed, because basically the reasoning behind that is that FIT wouldn't go through your financial aid like information and try to figure out how much money you'll need and all that if they weren't going to accept you. It's kind of just a waste of time on their end, and they're not messing around. If you don't have a cost of attendance, don't worry, because there are people who did get in and either they just didn't apply for financial aid or for some other reason, but you still can get in if it's not there. Like, this is just kind of a little theory, but yeah. So I found that I started reading on the College Confidential about February, so I kind of found that information and I looked on my FIT portal because I had no idea that the cost of attendance even existed, so I kind of went on there and I had a price. And I was like, okay, I'll chill for a while because I have a price on here. And then it started getting closer and closer, and there's like a little checklist on this financial aid section, the financial aid checklist, and it's got like green check marks and orange exclamation points. So for most of the time, people had like one check mark and everyone was like, do you have a check mark? And then some people had orange exclamation points. I had an orange exclamation point for like the longest time. When people started getting accepted, I still had it. And then they turned to green check marks. It's basically like FIT checking off what they did for your financial aid. Once you send in your deposit, if you get in, your whole portal will change. So next I'm going to be talking about like grades and stats and stuff. So like I said, my ACT and SAT scores weren't amazing, but they were still good enough to place me into the classes at their college that I wanted to be in, so that's fine. Which those test scores don't even matter in your application, like you don't even send them in. I don't even think they see them. So what really matters is like your transcript and your essay. Your essay will definitely be the most important thing because there are people who get in with like 2.9 GPAs. For me, my like overall 9th grade through 12th grade GPA was I think like a 95 or like a 3.8. I think that's what it converts to. But like, for example, when I get my report card my senior year, so it's the third quarter right now, my average is like a 97.5, but my all 4 years combined and weighted is about a 95 or 96, so comparable to a 3.8. It's really hard to say what FIT is looking for. You could have two people, they could have the exact same grades but completely different essays, and one person could get in and one could not, and it could be all because of the essay. So there's really no like you must have this GPA or you must have this grade. Like that's not really how they do it. They kind of focus on your essay. Of course, your good grades help, like they will not overlook that. If you have good grades, then you should be fine as long as your essay's good too. So yeah, and also I do take AP in college classes. I've taken AP English Language, AP US History last year, junior year. And then this year I'm taking College English 101 and 102, College Environmental Science, I think it's College 208, and then AP Government, College Spanish 104. So I'm basically taking all the college classes that are pretty much offered to me that I can take in my field. So like there's really no AP or college class that my school offers online or in school that would help me with my major. So I kind of just took like the basic, like the English, the language, the histories that you kind of have to take the class anyway. So I kind of just took the AP and the college ones of those. So I'm not quite sure about transferring credits to FIT. I don't know anything about that yet. So I am going to be making a video later on once I find out like my schedule and all that, and I'll be talking more about like scheduling classes, applying for housing, and then I'll also talk about like credits and if they transferred or not, but I don't know any of that right now. It's too early. That'll be a part 2 video, so subscribe if you want to see that. FIT doesn't really offer like merit scholarships. Like for example, I applied to LIM and got accepted and they gave me like $10,000 a year for like my grades, having good grades and stuff. But FIT doesn't do that. They have a Baker scholarship, which is for the business school. You have to be asked to apply for that. Now I was asked to apply for that. It was around March like 16th, I think, and then it was due like the 21st. So you had to do like a whole application for a scholarship in like a week. I don't think they've released that yet. I know that one person said that they got it, but I haven't heard anything, so I'm not sure if I have gotten that yet. I don't think so, because it's not on my financial aid thing, but they could have just not gotten to me yet. I'm not sure, but if I didn't, it's okay. They only give it to I think 40 people out of the whole entire business school, and Fashion Business Management and AMC are the 2 top majors like in the school, which are the 2 business majors. They ask people to apply for it if you're qualified for it, but they only pick around 40. So if you don't get it, it's perfectly fine. Obviously, it's a goal and it would be awesome to get. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful, even if it was a little long of a video. I hope I talked about everything, and if you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will be sure to answer them. And if you want anything to be talked about in my next FIT video, then leave that down below also. Like I said, I'll be talking about like housing application, making my schedule, and that type of stuff in the next video since it's too early to know about that. But yeah, I will be continuing to do FIT videos, and I hope you continue following me on this journey, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!